In question number 4, we have the equation y equals -3 times x plus 2 minus 1. So another way of writing this one, just like we did in number 3, we could write this as y equals -1 minus 3 times x plus 2. So just like the ones we were using in Module 1, again, you can switch the order around if you need to. But one other thing that I want to notice or want to point out is that this time we have a plus sign inside our parentheses. And so to make you understand where that plus sign is coming from, we're going to write it back like we were before, where we use that minus. And we talked about this a little bit in the last part when we wrote our equation. But we can rewrite this another way as showing that this is y equals -3 times x minus a -2 minus 1. So this plus sign is coming from subtracting a negative number. And that's really important as we try to write the point that we want to use on our graph. So it's always going to be an x minus inside the parentheses, but when we start subtracting a negative number, we often simplify that to show a plus sign. It does not mean that our 2 is positive in our ordered pair. It still means that our 2 is going to be a negative. So when we talk about key features in graphing, one of the things that we can write down is we do have a point, and that point that we're going to use is the point -2, -1. So the -2 is coming from here, and our -1 is the y value out here. And then our slope is always the number that's being multiplied, so that's that -3. So we can also say that we have a slope equal to -3. Oops. In order to graph this, we would start with our point. So we're going to go and plot the point -2, -1. So we go to -2, then down to -1. And then we have a slope of -3. So that slope of -3, in order to use that to graph, we want to change that to a fraction. So to change that to a fraction, we're going to put that -3 over 1. And so when we're looking at that, that tells us that we're going to go down 3 since the negative is on the top. And since it's positive on the bottom, it tells us to go to the right. Or we can also look at this as 3 over -1, which means on the top is positive, it tells us we're going to go up. Bottom being negative tells us we're going to go to the left. And we'll use both of those scenarios. Let's start with the first one, going down and to the right. So I'm going to come to my point. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And I'm going to plot my point. Then if I try to do that again, if I try to go down 3, 1, 2, I run out of room. And that's where I'm going to come and I'm going to use my other option, which is doing the complete opposite. So now I can go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 1 to get the point -3, 2. And then again, I can go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect these points and make a nice straight line. And hopefully your line is a little bit straighter than mine. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit for us. And then the arrows again on the end indicate that it's going to go on forever.